Hey Wit Fam, this is Leo with One Happy Widow. Today we're going to talk about why our children turn on us, particularly our adult children. And secondary to that, why I already made this video in a live stream and put it up and then took it back down again. So we're going to talk about those two issues and what happened there coming up. So stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, I guess I just want to address the fact that I had a live stream that was recorded yesterday, Saturday, and it was up and then it was back down. And actually we had technical difficulties, and so it got split into two videos, and so the two videos were up on the recording and now they are no longer up. So the reason for that, I probably should have just taken that as a sign, the whole technical difficulties to be a sign that that this was not going to go well, right? So what had happened was I laid out some things. Like I laid out some things about my grown children, my grown stepchildren, and some of my not so grown children. And, I shared some experiences about how some of the things that have affected my life. So I'm sharing my life stories about children who have turned on us and don't want to have anything to do with us. And the funny thing is, one of those said children who wants nothing to do with us was extremely interested in the things that I had to share about them and their siblings. And so ended up crying to Daddy about what I was sharing, and was extremely upset about the fact that I was sharing my life experiences out there on YouTube. So needless to say, it caused a big stink, which I think is kind of ironic that they don't want to have anything to do with us until you start exposing some of the things that maybe they've done or their siblings have done, and now suddenly they're extremely interested in what you have to say. And so I did decide to take the videos down, and mostly it was out of respect for my husband. I did share some things that were with his blessing, that he knew that I was going to share, and as a matter of fact brought it up and said, why don't you share these things, because maybe they will help other people who might be going through similar experiences. So I did not share anything without his blessing or knowledge, but considering that it was his children that were so disturbed by the information that was shared, it's one of those things where I don't really take back anything that I said, because everything that I said was true from my point of view. However, it's just one of those things where, do you really want to die on that hill? Like you choose your battles. And yeah, I could have stood firm and left all the shit up, stood by my story and said, no, I'm not taking it down because of the principle of the thing. And I still feel that way. However, I just don't have the energy. Like, I don't have the energy to fight 7 children over, some stories that maybe the reason why they didn't like the fact that I shared the information was because they're embarrassed by what they did or what they said. I'm not embarrassed, but like I said, I just decided to be the bigger person, and I just don't have the energy to fight over, that drama. And so I just decided to take it down. I'm going to give an abridged version, with a lot less details, and just put it out there and just, share with my point of view and talk about it on a more generic level, maybe. And maybe that will not piss them off so much. And if what I say today pisses them off, then so be it. I can't help it. Then you shouldn't be such assholes. And that's all I have to say about that. So, all right. So now that we've got all that out of the way, I will go ahead and share the topic of today's real video, which is why our children turn on us after we've lost a spouse. And so, I don't have any notes because I'm sort of going on the fly. I wasn't even really planning on doing this video. I was just going to let the other video die its own death and then just come back next week. But then I thought, well, that's going to mess up my channel. That's going to mess up my YouTube algorithm. And I don't want that to happen. And a lot of people were appreciating the topic of this video. And I still think that it would be helpful to people. And so, I'm just going to abridge it. I'm going to do a recorded version of it. I'm going to put this out here. So, as I said, we've dealt with we just dealt with a lot of issues with blending our families, especially the fact that his children were grown when we got remarried, or we married each other, but when we married after, we're both widowed. In case you didn't know, I'm widowed, my husband is widowed, and we got married and blended our families. He has 3 grown children. I have 4 children, 2 of whom are technically grown now. One of them is almost grown and one of them still at home. So anyway, between the 7 children, as I said before, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of the details, but the oldest stepchild of mine, I still have not met her before. She has no desire to meet me, is pretty upset about the fact that her dad remarried, was very close to her mother, was very much like her mother apparently, and, they were like very close, as I said. And so I don't know if I'll ever meet her. I don't know. She's got it against me, even though she's never met me. And, that's that. That's all I have to say about that. The next stepchild, I'm going to name them in order of age. And so it's going to start with all the stepkids because they're the oldest. So the next stepchild is the one who had all the problems with all the stuff that I was, sharing, which is kind of funny because I didn't share anything negative about her specifically, but, so she's the one that caused the big stink and went running to daddy and tattled on me and, caused the big blow up. And, she's hot and cold. Like when she first met me, she was really nice to my face. And then as soon as we got finished meeting for the very first time, didn't even leave the parking lot of the restaurant where we were before she started to, text some negative things and then began to refer to me as that woman. And so I think I've been that woman ever since. But then, would come around and act really nice and then turn around a few months later and act like, she hates me. So I really can't figure her out. And at this point, I no longer care to. So I am who I am. It's not my job to go out and try to win over these grown children. And so this is the situation that it is. Like it, love it, leave it, lump it. Like I said, what can you do? The next stepchild down the list of ages, is my stepson. And so again, I won't get into all the details of all the drama between us, because that's what caused the big stink to begin with. But I guess everyone has to come to baby brother's aid. But, basically, for various different reasons, just wants nothing to do with me and, has called me many names, and has not apologized and, just thinks that I broke his family up. And so, I don't know why. But again, without getting into all the details and bringing it up, it's looking like there's not really going to be a real close relationship with this one either. And it's not just that they don't like me. It's really sad because the relationship with their dad has been fractionalized. Is that a real word? Has, broken apart. And they blame me and think that I am the reason why there's this divide in the relationship between them and their dad, which is really sad because, whether they like me or not, he's still their dad and he's the only parent that they have left. And so, I think it's a real shame for their personal opinions about me for whatever reason has kept them from, wanting to have much to do with their dad. And they, a lot of times grown children will use their own children as leverage, against you. And I'll talk about that with my biological child in just a minute. But, our grandbabies are our hearts. And when your grown children come in and hold our grandchildren as like hostage over us, and try to say, well, if you don't act like we want you to act, or if you don't say what we want you to say, or if you piss us off, then we just won't let you see your grandkids anymore. So, and that's a lot of times what has happened, kind of playing on our heartstrings that way. And so, kind of playing dirty pool like that. But apparently that's what has happened to several. And it's been really sad. So, then we can go on to my kids. I've got one that's 24 who has decided, for various reasons and various issues that she's going through with her mental health, that she has decided that I'm toxic. And so, no longer wants to have me in her life. Also meaning she does not want to have me in my grandson's life. So I have a 3-year-old grandson. He's my only biological grandson, and I have not seen him in several months. Have not been permitted to see him in several months because of the rift, that's between us and her lifestyle choices and some things that she has going on and all the changes that are going on in her life. Then the next daughter down, when she's 19 now, she's about to be 20 actually in a few weeks, but, we went through our issues with her when she was younger. So her dad died when she was 15. By the time she turned 16, she was in full-blown, emotional distress and took all of her anger out on me. And I found out, later on through therapy that a lot of times our children take out their anger and their feelings, their bad feelings, their frustrations and things like that. They take it out on the people that they feel safest with. And so, I guess her anger over her losing her dad, you can be angry at somebody and treat them like crap and they'll walk away and leave you. But with mom, mom's supposed to be the safe person, right? So you can get angry at mom and you can lash out at her, but she's that safe person. Like, that unconditional love is supposed to kick in, and they do that because they know that you will not leave them, or at least they hope. I mean, a mom with unconditional love can, I guess, just takes the beating and keeps on coming back for more. And so that's why they feel the safest to be able to lash out at you, because they feel like that, that you'll always be there. You kind of take that for granted. And so, she took a lot of her anger out on me, and we had a whole lot of issues while she was her late teens, after her dad died. But I will have to say, I'm really proud of her, specifically, and proud of my other kids too. But I want to talk about her for a minute. But she's, she graduated from high school. She's in college now. She's doing her thing. She's going to cosmetology school to learn how to do hair and makeup and nails and all that stuff. And she has come so far. She still struggles, but she will for the rest of her life over losing her dad. But I think she's finally gotten to that point where she's not holding against me. I didn't kill him. You know what I mean? I had nothing to do with it. I just was the one who was there dealing with all of her issues when she was emotionally, distraught, trying to do my best to raise her and parent her and help her through her grief and things like that. And it was really tumultuous, and it was so tough. But she made it, she graduated from high school. She's in college now. Like I said, she still kind of has her ups and downs with her emotions, but she has come a long way. She's very of introspection, and she really tries, when she knows she's kind of going off the rails emotionally, she tries to talk herself out of it and talk herself down and be logical and, kind of do a lot of that self-reflection. And, like I said, I'm super, super proud of her. She has come a long way, and she doesn't live with us anymore. So we get along a lot better when she's in her own place, so she can do whatever she wants in her own house. And then she can just come visit us and we can have fun and do those kinds of things. So it's gotten a lot better with that one. So I'm grateful. And then my son, we've had moments with him. But he is also, trying to do the best that he can. He's graduated from high school now. He's gotten his job. He's doing his work thing. He's getting ready to start college in the fall. And so, as of right now, and he has done some things, specifically has even admitted that he's done some things to try to break up my marriage with my husband right now. He did it at the moment, and then later on said, yeah, well, I was trying to get y'all to, to get a divorce. I was trying to get you to kick him out of the house. I was trying to, he purposely tried to put a wedge between us and has admitted that. As of right now, we're in an okay moment. Like I should probably knock on wood, but we're in a good place with him right now. I think finally because he got his driver's license and he has a little freedom and he's making some friends. And so he's trying to do that thing. And so I think we're in an okay place with him right now. And then we got a little bit, and she's had her moments. She's doing her therapy thing. She's trying her best to work out all these things that she has in her head that's confused. And she's 12. She's a 12-year-old girl in this world right now who lost her daddy and misses him and doesn't have a whole lot of memories of him. The thing that upsets her the most is because he died right after she turned 7. She does not have very many memories of him. And the few memories that she has, they are fading. And so we try to look at videos and look at pictures and try to remind her, of those things so that his memory doesn't get too far from her mind. But that's, I think, the thing that upsets her the most is because out of all the siblings, she had him for the smallest amount of time and she has the fewest concrete memories of him. And so that really upsets her. She has gone through a lot of anger phases, when she was 8 and 9 years old, she would break her toys and put holes in the wall. And now she does it more like she doesn't really physically break things, but her anger is kind of held inside. And so now she has these anger feelings on the inside that she's trying to work through, but she's in art therapy. And like I said, she's going to a therapist she sees every week. And so we're getting through it. So that's the issues that we have with all of our children. And so, like I said, we've had, on and off, the older kids especially have turned away. And I don't know if it's from their grief. I don't know if it's because that's the way that they are grieving the loss of their parent and they're taking it out on the surviving parent, or they're taking it out on the step parent. My kids have taken out their anger on JP before because, you're not my real dad and you're not ever going to take his place and all these types of things. And it's tough for them because he's living in the house with them. With my stepchildren, I'm not really sure how it is that the animosity, because they were all moved out and on their own when we got married. And so I'm thinking, well, it's not like I'm trying to actively parent them. I don't live with them. I'm not trying to give them rules. I'm not trying to, I don't know. I don't really know. I know that, JP and I, when we met, we got married really quick. We met and started dating, and he was, pretty fresh into his widowed status. His wife had only passed away 7 weeks before we met. He wasn't really looking for like a dating situation. It was more just out of curiosity because his brother was finding these women on Plenty of Fish, and he was like, I have got to see what it is. Like, I got to see these ladies. So he's going on there just kind of out of curiosity and just seeing, what is going on this dating thing. And as soon as he got on there, I guess I swiped him or whatever within like 2 days. And when we first met, it was just we had something in common. We were both widowed. And so we decided we just were chatting for several days. And then we were talking on the phone for several days. And it was more of just I know what you're going through, or I can relate to some of the feelings that you're having. And cause I had been widowed for 2 years. And he was freshly widowed. So I knew, kind of the phases that he was probably going to be going through. And when I found out how fresh in grief he was, I was like, oh, this guy's not ready to date. He just needs somebody he really just needs a friend, especially somebody who knows what he's going through or about to go through. So I just offered to be a support for him. And we just clicked from the very beginning. Like from the first time we met, we clicked, and it was like, it was that love at first sight kind of thing. Like I can't explain it. But I knew from the first time that I met him that he was the guy. And I didn't know how it was going to work out because of how freshly widowed he was, but I wasn't trying to disrupt his life. You know what I mean? I just fell in love with him. I couldn't help it. And I think he felt the same way for me. And it was and we knew we were grown people. We'd both been married for years and years and years. We knew what we were getting into. We didn't want to waste any time. And so I can remember some people that were giving us some crap about how fast we were kind of moving. And I remember one person from his church even asked, well, how do his children feel about you guys, dating or whatever? And I was like, my response to her was, well, between the two of us, we've got 7 kids. And if we were to wait around for all 7 to give us their blessing before we got married, we'd never get married. And so, I mean, at some point it's got to be like, okay, I get it that you have an opinion about things, but we're grown people. And so this is what we're going to do. And so it's time for you to, be happy that we're happy and live and let live. And, you got to pick the person that you got married to. We get to pick the people that we're going to get married to. So it's time to kind of move forward after that, right? And so, I guess they just didn't really like the fact that, we have moved forward so quickly. And it's not like either one of us was gold diggers. He had a house and a job and a car, and he was paying his bills. I had a house and a car and a job, and I was paying my bills. Neither one of us was like trying to grave dig the other one. We were both kind of equally matched as far as finances goes. And so it's not like one of us had a bunch and the other was didn't hardly have anything. We just, put our stuff together, and there you go. So anyway, back to the whole topic at hand is basically I wish I had an explanation or even a theory as to why our grown children will turn their backs on us and leave us, because they've already lost one parent and they only have one left. So why in the world would they turn and abandon their only living parent and, disown us or whatever the case may be? And I've heard so many stories of people on my Facebook group and other Facebook groups that are like, my grown child will not speak to me anymore. My grown children do not talk to me anymore. Ever since their dad died, they left. And a lot of times it might have to do with how inheritances went or how money went or things like that. We have one member of our Facebook group who she was married for a long time, and right after her husband died, she fell, I guess. Hey, I don't know what happened. I think I glitched out, so I had to pause and come back. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But anyway, I was talking about we have a member on our Facebook group, and she's texting us from her phone, and she's telling us this story, and it's really sad and frustrating because her husband died, and then she fell or something. She injured herself at home somehow. I don't remember all the details, and I apologize. But and instantly her children came in, got power of attorney, put her in a home, like a nursing home, and, blocked her from being able to have access to her money, to her vehicle, to any legal anything. And I don't even think she's able to check herself out. And I don't think she has anywhere that she can go. They took her dogs, and they basically took everything from her, left her in a home, and have not been back since, and had abandoned her. So, and she's been reaching out, we've been trying to give her some ideas of we're not lawyers and we don't even know if there's any way we can help her, but we're like, is there an ombudsman or is there a representative, at the home where you are? Can you call a lawyer? Is there any kind of legal way that you can get control back? Because she's obviously of sound mind, she's explaining all of her situation, and she's like, I'm 70 or 71 or something. And she's not she doesn't have dementia, she just fell and hit her head and got hurt. And, she's so hurt because her children have basically come in and, been like vultures on her and then left her and haven't come back and checked on her. And I think that happens a lot. We get older and then our children just they go away, and then they don't come back and check on us, and they don't want to have anything to do with us, or they don't like how we've moved on or not moved on, or what we've done, or how we've done our finance, or how we've, decided to do our lives, or if we've made any changes, all these things. All we're doing is trying to survive. We're trying to go through this grieving process as best we can. The last thing we need is judgment from our kids about how we're doing it. We're just, we're trying to get by, right? And we really need the support from our children. But for some reason, when kids are grown, a lot of times they're turning their backs on us and abandoning us in this one time of need. And I'm like, what happens, what happens when you treat me like shit and something happens to me and I die? What will you feel like then? Will you feel bad? And what happens if I get older and I need somebody to help take care of me or something like that? Where are you going to be then? So I don't know. Like I said, this is a conundrum to me. It's something that's happening a bunch. to the widowed community, but I have no answers as to why in the world it's happening. Like, I don't even have any theories about why it's happening. Why are these grown children turning on us or turning away from us? And like, I don't know. I wish I had even a small theory, or I wish I had like an idea that I could share with you, like maybe you can reach out and do this or that, but I just don't know. This is one of those things where I have no solution. I have no theory about why it's happening. I just know it's happening all too often. And if it's happening to you, all I can say is I am sorry. Like, I can commiserate with you for sure. Because I think there's many different reasons. Like, I think there's a lot of different reasons why our kids are turning on us. My kids, I mean, stepkids, they have, lots of different reasons why they're turning on us. And they're pretty specific to their issues and my issues that I won't share the details with, obviously. But, so it seems like the issues might be different for all the kids. But the bottom result, is they're leaving us. They're turning on us. And I don't get it. I don't understand why. And I'm like, maybe over time when they come back, but I don't know. I wouldn't hold my breath, because a lot of people have come back and said, my kids abandoned me years ago and I still haven't heard from them since. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it's too painful for them. Like if they see the living parent, it reminds them of the dead parent. I don't know. I mean, if you have a theory, share it in the comments below. If you need some support and you're going through this and you want to commiserate with us, then join our Facebook group. I will have the link in the description below. If you're not already in that Facebook group, it's an awesome place to be, because we can commiserate. We all rally around each other and we give each other a lot of support. It's a safe place. You can share what you want to share and it won't get out and I guess piss off your to see it, because it's a private group, and, so we can share more details there. But, anyway, also remember, if you want to, I think one of the greatest ways to move through this grief process is to journal. Write some things down. If you're not sure why, maybe write a letter to your kid, even if you don't give it to them. Maybe just get your feelings out and write it down. But if you would like some free journal pages that you can print, you can go to onehappywidow.com/journal. I will have those there that you can print out for free. If you're ready to pivot, if you're in that spot, there's been a lot of people recently on the group that have said, I'm not sure I'm ready to start feeling happy again. Like, I'm tired of feeling sad like this. I'm ready to turn my life around and try to start getting myself out of this hole, but I'm not sure how to start or what to do or how to get going. If you're in that mindset, then you're ready for the grief pivot. You're ready to pivot from grief to growth. And so I will put those two links in the description below for the pivot course. One is the full course with 4 modules, 28 lessons. The other one's a mini course, just 1 module, 7 lessons. If you want to just start with that and just see how it goes. And then if you like it, you can always purchase the full one later. So again, all those links will be in the description below. And, I'm sure if my new fan club seems to be my estranged children who want nothing to do with me, but suddenly are very interested in my videos. I'm sure they can go on here and post some comments below. If they have anything to say, or if they'd like to speak for themselves, they can comment below. It's a public forum. And so basically, yeah. So that's where we are, guys. So thank you so much. If you were in my live session, you heard all of the stories and you know what it was that came off. If you didn't catch the recording before it got taken off the very next day, then sorry, you missed the, you missed all the drama and all the juicy tidbits, but yeah, it's what it is. Like I said, I'm just not choosing to go head to head on that one. I'm leaving that battle alone. I'm going to be the grown up. I'm not going to be the kid about it. We're going to just leave this one right here. How about that? All right. Thank you for joining me and for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any other videos, and watch the other ones. I mean, I got all kinds of videos out there, all kinds of topics. There might be some juicy tidbits hidden in some of them. If you're in my new fan club, go watch them all. There's about 60 of them. So spend all your time doing that and see how you feel when it's all done. Go ahead and share your thoughts. All right, guys. See you next time. Hopefully we'll be able to do a live session that does not end up taken down, and we'll see how it goes. All right. We'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.